After a number of European countries, this time the solemn event on the presentation of the first European Games was held in Moscow, the capital of Russia. The event, organized by the Heydar Aliyev Foundation and Azerbaijan's embassy in Russia, was attended by the representatives of social, political, cultural circles of Russia, international sport community, and other guests. Azerbaijan's First Lady, chairperson of the First European Games Organizing Committee, Mehriban Aliyeva, and family members attended the presentation ceremony of Baku 2015, the First European Games. Heydar Aliyev Foundation's publication on Azerbaijan, booklets on the First European Games were presented to the guests. The guests took interest in the publications, discs, and other visual aids on Azerbaijan's history, art, culture, and cuisine. The guests also viewed the exhibition featuring photos depicting sites, historical monuments, and development of Baku. The major reason why the first European Games will be held in Baku is the interest shown in Azerbaijan on the international level. It is not accidental that our country will host such an important event in Europe's sport life. This is also connected with the recent achievements of our country, which has ancient history and rich cultural heritage. The fact that preparations for the European Games are underway in Azerbaijan on the highest level demonstrates our country takes the Games seriously and respects the European sporting community. Baku 2015, the first European Games, will go down in history as an important sporting event. These Games are also important as they count towards qualifications for the Summer Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro in 2016. Organization of such competitions opens new prospects for the progress of sport in Europe. Presenter of the event gave detailed information about Baku 2015, the first European Games. He said it was important that such a significant sporting event would be held in Azerbaijan, a country with an ancient history, rich culture, customs and traditions, tolerance and high hospitality. He said Azerbaijan's tolerance serves as an example to the world and underlined that our country was contributing to the development of intercultural relations. The presenter stressed the importance of the event held in Russia, saying that it demonstrated high-level relations between the two countries. Underlining participation of Azerbaijan's First Lady, chairperson of the First European Games Organizing Committee Mehriban Aliyeva, the presenter of the event gave detailed information about the activity of the Heydar Aliyev Foundation. He said the foundation's Russian representative office was implementing very important social and humanitarian projects in Moscow and other cities, and expressed his gratitude to the head of the foundation's Russian representative office, Leyla Aliyeva. Following this, Azerbaijan's First Lady, chairperson of the First European Games Organizing Committee, Mehriban Aliyeva, addressed the event. Mehriban Aliyeva said presentations of the First European Games had been held in Europe's biggest capitals, Rome, London, Paris, Athens, Ankara and Berlin, and expressed her satisfaction with the presentation organized in Moscow. Noting that relations between Azerbaijan and Russia were based on strong historical basis, Azerbaijan's First Lady said present Russia-Azerbaijan relations served as an example of friendly, good neighborly relations based on mutual respect and interest. She said our cooperation covered all spheres of social life, political, economic and humanitarian spheres. We have very good partnership in the field of sports, Olympic movement, said chairperson of the First European Games Organizing Committee, adding that support for sport, Olympic movement, was one of the priorities of the state policy in Azerbaijan, and our country had good experience in holding big international sporting events. Mehriban Aliyeva underlined that the decision of the European Olympic Committees to hold the first European Games in Baku was based on these factors. Azerbaijan's First Lady, chairperson of the First European Games Organizing Committee, Mehriban Aliyeva, said Baku Games would determine the level standard for the future Games. Though we have been given 2.5 years to make preparations, we intend to hold these Games on the level of the Summer Olympic Games. All necessary activities are being carried out. Very strong organizing committee has been established. We are cooperating with the international sport organizations, European Olympic committees, international federations, said Mehriban Aliyeva. She underlined strong support of volunteers, said thousands of young Azerbaijanis wish to be volunteers at the Games. Construction of all sport facilities has been completed. 35 test events would be held by the opening ceremony to take place on June 12th. Mehriban Aliyeva spoke about the Athletes Village and Media Village, said the Games would be broadcasted in more than 100 countries. An interesting cultural program had been prepared for the guests. Baku is ready to receive the entire Europe, and we are all on the eve of the world's great event of peace, friendship and sport. I'm sure that the first European Games will be held in the spirit of solidarity, unity, Healthy and fair competition, said chairperson of the First European Games Organizing Committee, and invited the Russian guests to Baku to watch the games. The participants of the event watched the film on Baku-2015. The film covers preparation for the First European Games, important projects implemented in the capital in connection with the Games. The First European Games will be held at 21 sport facilities in Baku. New arenas are under construction, existing facilities are being reconstructed. Alongside was 68,000-seat Baku Olympic Stadium, where the opening ceremony will be held. Athletes Village, which will accommodate 7,300 people, is also being prepared for the Games. It is said that Azerbaijan has approached the preparations for the Games with great responsibility. Baku and sport facilities in the country are fully ready to receive athletes and guests from Europe. President of Russian Olympic Committee Alexander Zhukov spoke about the importance of the decision of the European Olympic Committees to hold the first European Games in Baku, noting that he visited our country and witnessed the attention paid to the development of sport in Azerbaijan. Alexander Zhukov said Azerbaijan hosted very important sport competitions and had great experience in that sphere. President of Russian Olympic Committee said preparations for the first European Games were on the highest level, expressed his confidence that the Games would have a success. He said Russia attached great importance to the Games and would be represented by 360 athletes. Alexander Zhukov wished success to the first European Games Organizing Committee. It is not accidental that within a short period of time after Azerbaijan regained independence, our athletes won 26 medals at the Olympic Games, 2,000 medals at the European and World Championships. More than 6,000 athletes from 49 countries will compete in 20 sport disciplines in the game that will take place from June 12th through 28th.